Alrighty. Good evening. Welcome to the B&R Racing Network as we are live here from the AMS Cup Series. From Kansas Motor Speedway. We'll go over a little bit of the race information here, and then we will bring you everything that you need to know. So see here, we are in Kansas City. 1.5 mile track. Current track temp is 84 degrees. 69 degrees outside with 86% humidity. Partly cloudy skies with 11 mile per hour wind. They do run fixed sets, do get 70% fuel. These drivers do get one fast repair and 4 sets of tires. Sorry we were not here last week. I was a little bit under the weather, so I am back doing a lot better and glad to be back. With these drivers here. My button is on top of the board at the moment.
Aha! There we go, Brian. Hello. Can you hear me,
Hello?
Brian? Oh, okay. Hello. Good, good, goody, good. Yes, indeed, Brian. Kansas here tonight. This
Yep.
progressive banked, mile and a half. Some people like to say it's another average cookie cutter, but as you know, Brian, I think it's one of the better mile and a halves. It's got that progressive banking, 17 to 20 degrees of banking, 10 degrees on the front straightaway on the D-shaped tri-oval here. It's not necessarily a tri-oval, just a D-shaped mile and a half. And the back straightaway has 5 degrees of banking. Thomas Schechter, son of Jody Schechter, which is a Formula One world champion, but his son Thomas has the race lap record speed here in the IRL series, which that's not NASCAR, but he holds the record for race lap speed. I'm sure I could find the record set for NASCAR if I truly wanted to, but yeah, it's one of the better racing mile and a halves, Brian. Here, Homestead, a lot of people compare this with Homestead because you have to run the wall at times at Homestead like you do here. So, you pretty much have almost every lane available to you at times as well here. So, you have every lane to choose from. Even on the front straightaway, you can go down onto that flat. So, it's been in operation ever since 2001. So,
Yeah. But we noticed with these cars and the new update that has been released, the more you use the apron, the more wear that is coming out of Those tires.
Oh yeah, because
So
the
there's so
apron,
much
you're not
heat
really supposed to be
down
down
there.
there.
I
Yeah,
know.
as well. Like,
Mhm.
sorry, Brian.
No, no. You're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to agree with you. Yeah, you're not supposed to be down the apron, like you said. It also will attract more heat, and it's not really paved for racing as well. So it's going to be a bit more. You're going to have more debris down there normally, and just the texture of the surface might be a bit more rough, a bit more harsh, a bit more bumpy as well. So you got to be careful. Starting lineup here, we have Adam Bott has got the pole. Uh, oh, yeah, just refreshed on me, Brian. Shelley, my apologies. Shelley Kitzman is P2. He was fastest in practice, but unfortunately couldn't carry that over to single lap qualifying speed. Brandon Moore is starting third. Chris Stang, teammates, in row number 2. Michael Cochran and Michael Carter, so Michael's in row number 3. Dwayne Furtick and Josh Farmer is in 7th and 8th. Jonathan Mazzella and Daryl Johnson, 9th and 10th. James Hudson, Zach Deutscher in 11th and 12th. Will Roberts and Nathan Lime, 13th and 14th. Avery McDonald and Antonio Bonini in 15th and 16th. Kevin Trzynski and Chris Spencer, 17th and 18th. Jason Taylor and Aaron Spear, 19th and 20th. Greg Elliott, Chris Ostrander in 21st and 22nd. Keenan Miller and Brian Beach is 23rd and 24th. Our final and rounding out the field shotgun is Matthew Hunsaker.
Yes,
That is the starting lineup.
we know Matthew very well.
Yes, indeed. Feisty competitor. Hopefully everybody's able to grid. At the moment, we are missing Matt. Matthew is the last one to grid. Come on, Matt, get in here. So, who's your pick to win tonight, Brian, out of all these competitors?
I'll probably say Brandon Moore.
So you're picking Brandon.
And how about you?
Well, I know he may be starting off deep in the field, but I'm going to pick Jason Taylor.
Oh, JT.
We've seen at times he can be a David Pearson-esque driver, as I like to call it. Shows up to the party late, but he will steal it away.
Hey, look, I got the track map up again. So next week, these boys head to Talladega, is what I'm guessing. If they follow
Yes, sir.
schedule.
Talladega is next. Safety truck is peeled off, Brian. Here we go, rolling to the initial start. Green flag is away, and we are rolling here at Kansas in the AMS Cup Series. You just see how close to the wall they get. A little bit of trouble off of turn number 2. Oh, man. I believe Keenan and I couldn't tell who was the other two parties involved, but 3-car incident, but looks like no caution. No
Miller
caution.
And Johnson. So, and what we did notice look at them going inside one another. That's a little blinky from the 41 of Mazzella. Pretty wide back here, put Zach right in the middle. So we did realize that the inside lane is the faster way around. and will kind of save some tire. But you see there, Elliott making that pass on the apron. That's going to hurt in the long run if these drivers do get it, Will. Oh, Elliott. Wanted to put Cochran right up there. But if I'm Cochran, it'd be like, well, how much room do you physically need?
Well, always leave a space. Always try to leave a car length space. And as the years have gone by, as the sport has grown older, you kind of learn that, okay, well, the cars have shrunk over the years. Oh, the cars have gotten bigger over the years. Oh, the cars get smaller again. Oh, they got bigger again. So it's a fluctuating in size and diameter of what you can fit into a gap and what you can't. Same goes with any other form of motorsport, even forms, different forms of sports. Look at throughout the years in football how the guys gotten either bigger or taller or different. Yeah. Yes, Brian.
Oh, that's horrible.
Same. No. Same rule applies with how, as you see, trouble with the 84. 94, my apologies. And Nathan Line takes a big chunk out of the 94 of Adam Button. That's our pole sitter, Brian.
Oh, yes, it is.
So that started from the front up here. Was it contact? Contact is made. Oh, my. So one Bottom kind of coming down to finish arcing off the top side, but also who's down there in the bottom? Was that Chris Stang?
That was Chris Stang came up and clipped him in the corner.
Yep. So they kind of met right on corner exit, and oh man, that's heartbreaking for the pole sitter. And then oh man, so that's Nathan Line and Greg Elliott trying to dodge out of town, get out of Dodge, but unfortunately he couldn't because Nathan Line was in Dodge City. And man, oh man. Yes, I'm making all these Western puns whenever, Dodge City's just a few hundred miles down the road from Kansas, Anyway, so man, riding on board here, going to get a good shot with Chris Stang as going through turn 3, and you're going to see here they do meet on corner exit. Chris Stang's going to have a good exit off the corner, and he's just going to try to, in what I would have probably tried to have done, just kind of float in line behind the 94. But Adam's going to have this good arc as he's going to just kind of divot the car a little bit to the left of that high lane to stay off the wall a little bit more than what he was, right? So Adam is arcing off the high side as Chris is going to make, I think he might have got a bit tight too, Brian, and starts pushing up. So that's why he kind of does what he does, right? And we see further back here, like I said, Elliott's going to try to dodge, but he can't do too much evasive maneuvers because he's got Nathan below him, but he still makes contact with Nathan. And, oh, man. So a big wallop of a crash here.
And a broken toe link there.
Oh, yeah.
Machine.
So 3 drivers at least going to have to use their fast repair early on here.
Hey, he's looking in the right paint scheme here. There you go.
A fan of the number placement of being on the door.
Yeah, I saw what Mark Martin said about it. I mean, he is right. But you really think NASCAR is going to listen? Yeah, okay. So Kitzman, Stang, Carter, Deuscher, Hudson, Beach, Moore, Bonani, Elliott, and Ostrander. That's the top 10 as we sit at the moment. And it's Spear, Mazzella, Roberts, McDonald, Trzynski, Lineford, Dick Miller, Cochran, Johnson. Then it's Spencer, then Taylor, then Bolton, then Farmer. And I want to say prayers out there who all those who are in leagues or around that have gone affected by the hurricane that Helen has brought upon us over here in the United States. I know over here in North Carolina, the west side of North Carolina got demolished, wiped out.
Villages, small towns, communities, cities.
The roads to cross into Tennessee is completely gone. So, say prayers to all them, and hopefully they can get the help that that they need for sure.
The help that they need.
Yep. We over here on the eastern side of North Carolina just got the heavy rain and some wind, about it.
I'm assuming Farmer wasn't able to grid, and neither was Hunsaker. Hunsaker is out of the race, and Farmer, I think, gridded later. Something happened with Josh, so Botton's 1 lap down, so 11 laps complete.
You see there, the pace truck did peel off. So Kitzman's going to lead the field back to green here.
Green flag.
You see there, Kitzman with a great start, like he shot out of a cannon. You see here, already 3 wide, Brandon caught in the middle with the 78 of Roberts and the 73 of Ostrander to the inside and outside. Now it's Trzynski and Brandon and Ostrander again. You see there, Brandon right in the quarter of that 73. Trying to keep him up there, Will, but he's going to make the pick on 2. He's going to get a 2 for there, maybe, if he can clear him, which I do believe he will.
Yeah, still early on, though.
Absolutely. We know, you and I know, Brandon can save when he needs to. So, that's not a problem for him at all.
Not too hot of a track. Of course, it's only 71 degrees, and the track temperature is 86, so it's not... I don't think it would be extremely too slick, but still, nevertheless, Brian, I still think we have to watch these cars as they go through and exit the corners.
Oh, yeah. All it takes is one slip up, Will, and that's it. That car is losing that rear, and around you go. But you see there, well, Greg Elliott trying to get everything out of that 8 machine and just can't quite get the handling down, or that dirty air is playing a number. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like he got a bit of that dirty air on his nose. The car didn't like it. Had to kind of work the throttle there on the exit of 4. So just seeing him getting just caught up here in the dirty air, like you're talking about.
Does anybody pull a Ross Chastain and put somebody in the wall or what?
When did he do that?
Poor Martin.
Did he do that to Martin yesterday? Like, what are you talking about?
Sunday.
What part of the race? Which restart?
Towards the end.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched that whole race except for like the first 17 laps. Like what? When did he put someone in the wall?
Well, if you get technical, he had KB behind him. And you know how well...
Did I miss... What? When did I... What? I watched every restart.
Trust me, when it comes
You're
to my driver,
you're gonna have...
I know. Yeah, I gotta find it.
Well, I was watching it intensely, trust me, because my drivers were up there too. You know, Walleye Boy and Kyle Busch, and I'm going to blow a tire early on and try to make a comeback. And sorry. Yeah, anyway.
Jesus, Will.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
were the
anyway.
first one to do it, normally it's me.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, no one heard it. No one heard it. It wasn't loud enough. The sensitivity setting didn't pick up anything. Anyway, I said nothing. Anyway.
CKT running the bottom trying to get by Bonani. But he's got... Who's the 6? Oh, Hudson. Mr. J.
And we have some of the biggest movers at the moment. Brian Beach in the 18 is up 19 positions in 5th position. Aaron Spear, trying to spear through the competition, is in 11th position. My apologies, 9th position, up 11 positions, but he's having to deal with Jimmy Hudson at the moment. He's going back and forth with Hudson. So Greg Elliott, he's having an Etch-a-Sketch night, as we already know. He's up 10 positions, along with Chris Ostrander is up 10 as well. So 11th and 12th positions. Will Roberts just got past a couple of guys. Something happens with Michael Carter. Oh, they're squabbling for position up here. That's what's happening.
See 3-1 getting there with the 18 on the outside.
Oh, contact gets made with Will. Evasive maneuvers, everybody scattered. 99. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, everybody's noses are messing with him. That's Brian Beach in the 18.
You know, that seems like a thing that I would do. You know, be 3 wide and just, you know, freak out, or maybe, oh no, you know, just...
Panic?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But as we see here,
when you're 3 wide,
it's easy to do.
The air gets taken away. And
yeah, you have a good point. You are very correct. Yes, it's almost like being 3 wide in a truck at that point, because like we've talked about as well in the past at Atlanta or Talladega, Daytona, you see the trucks move around a lot. That is mainly because the trucks are more aerosensitive, because they punch a bigger hole in the air, and they just move around so much in the air going at top speed. So these cars, like Brian was just talking about, you put these cars, these Gen 7 Cup cars, 3 wide, that car in the middle is going to be just so unruly, so uncontrollable. You know, that's if anybody watched the 3 wide finish we had earlier in the year in real real life at Atlanta that was one humdinger of a race, right? Coming to the strike. That's why you saw everybody so etch-a-sketchy driving, right? Because it was just so uncontrollable going 3 wide. Tight racing here, Brian. I'm surprised we have not had a gnarly crash yet, but my goodness, they've been trying to bounce off each other and ping pong and so forth. I am so surprised, but that is just what these guys do. They can lean on each other. They can, give each other room and space and let each other, give and take, and until finally, eventually, you run close enough, contact will be made. But my goodness, they are having a good old time, I tell you.
I think
That camera angle really cut me out.
Implement is like on-screen track temp of each lane. Every good thing they have. Not just overall track.
Yeah, because not every part of the track is going to be the same temperature. I completely get what you're saying. Yeah, if you put like an infrared camera up, on a racetrack, it's going to show heat, but each part of the corner, like say if you was to set it up in turns 3 and 4, you would see what part of the track gets used the most, like what Brian was talking about, because the more heat that's going to be on a certain spot, that's the spot where everybody's running.
You gotta call it double-headed Talladega this week.
I may not be. It may not be a doubleheader Talladega because last night's SRU got postponed, delayed. It could have got canceled. So you're right. It could. Who knows, Brian? It could be Talladega.
Oh, that's right. Because a lot of people got affected.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Even though I just said it at the top of the show. Ain't that a doozy, huh?
It's okay.
We all forget until you...
Yeah, you're not quite like Dumbo.
Hey, elephants have a smart...
Yeah, and everybody calls me the elephant, get it? But I'm not.
You know what the most dangerous...
I guess I am. What?
Why don't we...
The most dangerous... Get it out your mouth. What?
Did you know that hippopotamus is very dangerous than like an alligator, crocodile, or a whale?
Yeah. They're very passive creatures, though.
They are.
But they will stomp you to death.
Just like somebody... Never mind.
Wow. It's almost as if you were setting me up for that. So this is some great action here, all the way from, who is that? That is the, once I find that car that I'm looking for, Spear, I believe. I'm going to be like Bono here. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It was Spear. So Spears. Sting, Spear, Elliott, Taylor, Roberts, Moore, Miller, Line. I mean, there's so many drivers here in this battle pack, battle group, battle squadron, whatever you'd like to call it. It's almost a little bomber fighter squadron here. So we're at a mile and a half. If I'm not mistaken, we're getting 40 to 45 laps normally, right, Brian? Excuse me, at a mile and a half. Goodness gracious, that dinner was good. Anyway, I know, right? So, but this battle, this brawl, man, it's a barroom brawl. More like a ballroom blitz type of thing going on, as top 3 have a second and a half breakaway. It's Kitzman, Bonini, and Glacier with the breakaway at the top 3. But right now, It is Taylor, Stang, Elliott, Moore, Spear, Line, Roberts, Miller, Mazzala. Where's my handy dandy phone? Roberts, Miller. I believe Furtek's involved in this. No. Alright. Furtek is just the first car that comes right after this big battle pack here. So my goodness gracious. I bet you this is some of the most fierce, best competition Brandon Moore has been a part of in a while. As far as like, you know, not really dominating or leading a bunch of laps, you know, having to really fight for it. You know what I mean, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
So, really great to see because, you know, you get to call these races with Brandon kind of leading and being out front all the time, and now you get to really see him kind of stuck back here and not really stuck, but just, you know, more guys that are just like him that he's having to deal with kind of cut through, right? But
this is lined up perfect. He's half a lap behind. That's right.
yeah, it normally is. I always use Twitch whenever me and you are broadcasting. I have to use YouTube for everybody else because normally Chris, I think, has YouTube and Facebook, but I think Joe, the guy I was working with for a few Saturdays and this coming up Saturday, I think he has YouTube, Facebook, and I think it's just YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know why they let me on Facebook. I ain't got no followers. And that's on my personal account. That's alright. You have Twitch and YouTube. That's alright.
You're telling me with the amount of friends that you have, you don't have
Right.
enough followers?
Right.
Wow. But that's like me. Like, if you go and look at my profile, it says I only got like 10 people following me, so. Well, Kitzman domination at the moment, 40 laps in. Had an early caution early on from contact between Chris Stang and pole sitter Adam Botten, but they have seemed to, after that, everybody seemed to have wanting to get some laps logged and everything good in the hood. We had somebody do a blink and then was that Botten or? Oh, okay, that was Mazzala. Okay, gotcha. I couldn't tell who that was there for a moment. So, Keenan Miller up 13 positions, sitting in 10th place at the moment. Greg Elliott up 15 positions. He is sitting in 6th place at the moment. Antonio Bonini in 5th position, who was in 2nd place, is in 6th position, up 10 positions. Nathan Line, after being involved in that early crash, is up 10 positions in 4th position. Jason Taylor up 17 spots in 2nd position, just taking it away from Zach Deutscher, is in 2nd position. Oh, but Jason and Zach is having a battle, 2nd and 3rd, Brian, going at it. while we see some drivers now backpedaling, others still moving forward. Jason Taylor looking to secure second position away from Deutscher, going after now it looks like our leader, Shelley Kitzman. You know, the more and more I look at this Morton Salt car, it reminds me of the Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle. It might have just been Carl Edwards, but the charter or chat, what was it? It's like a charter, or it was the same color car as this car. And it was the number 60 Busch Grand National car. Like, you know what car I'm talking about.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But it also, like the first time I saw him drive this car, I thought it was a Michigan Wolverine car.
That's what I thought at first. I'm like, wait a minute.
I seriously thought it because of like the Joey Logano like Pennzoil DEI thing going down the side almost. Like, I thought, hey, Michigan Wolverine car, but then the more I looked at it, no, it's not. It's a Morton Salt car. Pit stops occurring here for, who pitted? Brian Beach, and well, we have a handful of pitters. Kitzman,
Hudson, Beach, Carter.
I'm surprised that, you know, a couple of these guys pitted because I feel like one of them pitted under our caution, right? So I feel like they could have stayed out a little bit longer, right? But I can't remember who it was that pitted out of those guys, but I thought one of them did, but I guess not. I guess I could go over here. No, that was everybody's first pit of the day that pitted, so I forgot that I could scroll over here and find how many times they've been out of pits. Yeah, yes, thank you, pitted.
So Nathan Line, Mazzella, Elliott, Roberts, Moore, top 5. Miller, Furtick, Cochran, McDonald, and Spencer. That is your top 10. Follow. Much appreciated. Always good to see new followers out there tuning in here. We try to bring you the best action that we can here from EBNI Racing Network. AMS Cup Series guys are at
Kansas. Okay. Yes, we are in Kansas, Toto.
I didn't see how
next week we'll get to
they were getting.
40 to 45, Brian. It's a mile and a half, and they run the same fuel mileage as
B&R.
Huh?
B&R.
Yeah. Yes. So you just got to remember how much, you know, you guys normally run at a mile and a half, and it's normally 40, 45, so somewhere in that ballpark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody else pitted. Spear. Now Roberts is in the pits.
I'm in the booth, Brian.
Oh, that's right. You're not on a pit road doing a pit report or what?
I mean, I could try to do both, but I'm currently in the booth.
Oh, Bolton just peeled off the last minute there. I believe he got it down to 45. To McDonald, Bolton, Spear. Oh, sorry, Spencer.
You want to hear a funny story, Brian?
Yeah.
Earlier, okay, so tickets went on sale earlier today in Brazil for the Linkin Park concert that's happening later on. People started protesting because they sold out within like the first 30 minutes, like normal. And so Mike Shinoda and Linkin Park announced that the next day of that show, they will play a second Brazil show, and tickets went on sale an hour after it was announced. They started protesting because they were sold out of tickets for the first show. And they, you know, like, Brazil was not really a heavy touring spot for Linkin Park. They only went there maybe, I don't know, not too many times, but when they went there, right, like it was mainly for like Rock in Rio, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't really to tour Brazil. It was either for like a music festival or for like maybe 4 or 5 shows. It wasn't for like a whole, hey, we're gonna, you know. So I thought that was kind of, I don't want to say comical, but interesting thought for the day. Oh man, Josh Farmer has parked it after probably deciding he won't be able to get 7 lucky dogs, and he is out of the race. So that is unfortunate.
So our leader,
unfortunate to see.
Just pitted.
Well, do you think Kevin was one of the drivers that pitted? Because right now I'm trying to share the stream.
He might have pitted under that earlier caution they had.
Yeah, I'm about to go look.
Yeah, because this is his second pit stop. The 58 of 143 in the books.
Some drivers have 3.
Yep. Maybe for the second time coming down to top off.
Brian, we saw it in Season A of the 2024 AMS Cup Series. Some of these races just, hey, they might get 1 caution or they might get no caution. We saw some of these races earlier on in the year, as I'm trying to say, go green all the way. There was a stretch where we had, 4 races in a row, I believe it was, go caution free. So we could see that after we had our first caution earlier in the night. Kind of see this one go play out green the rest of the way. I don't see why we can't, but in the meantime, waiting for maybe another terrible towel to wave if it does. Let's crank it up in the meantime, Brian. 70 laps complete here at Kansas in the AMS Cup Series. Riding on board with the different cast of characters here. Hey, there's a Michigan fan, Brian. That is Nathan Lyon, I do believe. Wow, who would know? So, very, very wonderful. I would call this a wonderful Kansas race. Yeah, there was a hiccup at the beginning, but you know, things happen. Racing happens. Things are gonna happen, especially like that. I've had a lot of run-ins like that at Kansas. Just ask Brian. He's been on the receiving end of a couple of those. So it's gonna happen. Great racing though, nevertheless, here at Kansas in the AMS Cup Series. You have a lot of fighters in this league, in this series to contend with, as Brandon Moore and Zach Deutscher, Jason Taylor, Jonathan Nozella, they all know this. Chris Stang, Will Roberts, Michael Cochran, all these guys. Great drivers. Any one of these drivers on this list of names that you see here, wonderful competitors. Fierce.
Oh yeah.
Is another word that comes to mind when you name off any of these competitors.
See here, you got the two teammates there.
A lot of different strategy at play as well. You have some drivers that pitted under that first caution that was a little bit further back in the field. Some drivers weren't really in the back of the field. They just pitted to have an offset strategy, so to speak, and maybe proving them to be beneficiary to do that. Maybe it was bad because some of them just got to a certain point to where they have lulled, or got to that certain point in the field to where they couldn't advance any further after pitting under the first caution from where they started. But that's not to say, nevertheless, that their strategy isn't working for them. It still could be to their plan, because there's still a long way to go in this race. We still need another pit stop, Brian. And we might slip in another crank it up after lap 100. You never know. You got to be on the edge of your seat. You never know.
See here, fixing to go 3 wide with the teammates. They felt better than that. Instead of lined up by
Almost go 3 wide here because Moore is looking, but is... Oh, man, now we're definitely going to be put 3 wide. It seems like Chris Stang just seems to be maybe not having a long run car at the moment, Brian, but he does have some short to medium run pace, it looks like. But at the moment, long run speed isn't there in that 72 machine.
Nope. Seems like he's got the short run pace.
Which can happen a lot at mile and a halves, or even here. You know, Kansas is a place to where you feel, no doubt, like Superman for at least a good 10 to 15 laps. But after that, after you have rubbed or ran all that good off the Goodyear tires, I like to call it, you know, that tire ain't going to be any good anymore. So right now, there's an intense battle, a stalking battle going on for second position. Zach Deutscher is not letting Jason Taylor go, but at the same token, they are almost reeling in Shelley. I'm not too sure why, or even if. It just could be under merit as well that they are doing this too. So up until this point, Kidsman has just been dominating, but JT is the highest gaining car on track unless Keenan Miller can jump into the top 5. But right now, JT is setting at 17 spots plus from where he started in that second position. Zach Deutscher is plus 9. And Antonio Benini is plus 10. Keenan Miller plus 16. Greg Elliott plus 13. Our biggest loser of the night is going to have to be our pole sitter, Adam Botten, at negative 19. So Josh Farmer is plus, or my apologies, yeah, he is also out of the race. So let's not, my apologies, Josh. That is salt into the wound. I was not trying to pour Jason salt into your wound. I'm so sorry. Seems to be a fierce battle going on back there around Greg Elliott, Bonini, and them. From the looks of things on the score, yes, indeed, I was going to say on the scoring page. It's almost like a real life booth now, Brian. I have a scoring page. I have multiple screens. And I'm almost running wild with myself. You know. Yes, it does. Every little bit helps. You know.
So, 84 laps complete. That's very close there for a second. Shooby dooby doo 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 doo. You see Deutscher getting in front of Modella there. Oh boy, officials go to Talladega. Oh, mate. We're all going to be worn out by Sunday. You see there, Marzella gets by Zach Deutscher. Now looking to put his eyes on Taylor. I was watching Garrett Main's Talladega, boy. You call that a cluster.
While I was doing what?
Ravens, I was watching Garrett Main's. I'm like, okay, Will's going to be talking for a little bit, so let me pop in and see how Garrett Maines is doing. Boy,
who's that?
That's one of the racers. That's in the, I think he got his pro license. Garrett Maines. He drives for, I think, JGR.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's an esports driver.
Yeah.
You could have just said that. You could have just said he is a pro leaguer, Will, and I would have been like, oh, okay, he's a celebrity, basically. Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Austin because he looks just like Austin.
Yeah, right. I've seen enough people that could be Austin's doppelganger. My cousin could be Austin's doppelganger. Like, seriously, I could send you a picture of my cousin. You'd be like, Austin, that you? Brandon Moore. Let's look back at P9. There's an intense battle going on between him and Michael Cochran and Furtek Miller. Others are trying to join in on that as well. Bonini, Moore. Oh, Brandon. Slide! Oh, Brandon. He didn't even touch it, but he was almost going to the hot dog stand, Brian, as one of our old friends used to say. Oh, tough racing here. Hard-nosed racing here in Kansas.
You see Kitzman now entering the pits. I would say a final pit stop.
Mozella drove back up there and got into second place. They ran down Kitzman to a second, and what was that before Kitzman pitted? Almost a second and a quarter, or like just under a second and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like
Excuse me. Burps all over the place. Are we gonna watch? Are we gonna watch? What happened there?
pit stop.
Furtech.
Coming off of 4 there, which everybody likes to peel on down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I kind of saw what happened. Yeah.
I prefer new safety, so I don't get ran over.
I was gonna ask, are we gonna watch Saturday night's main event?
When? Is it this week or next week?
No, it's in December, right?
Oh yeah. Good old.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesse Ventura.
Well, yeah, but who's gonna be with him on like?
They haven't released that yet. All we know is
He-
Jesse Ventura.
But Jesse's doing color commentary, but who would be Vince's place? Because it was Vince and Jesse was doing color commentary. Like, okay, basically Vince was doing like what you're doing, like being the presenter, right? And like Jesse was being me, right? So like who's going to be presenting with Jesse? I wonder. Like
Triple H.
Who?
Triple H.
Oh, that would be, well, yeah, because he's head of, like, yeah, that would be hilarious if Triple H does that,
I don't
since
know.
he's also,
I could never see it doing it though.
yeah, because,
He's so
yeah.
quiet, we really don't see him too much. He stays behind it over there in the gorilla.
Yeah.
So we really don't see him as much once he comes out with the attendance record or
Yeah. That would be cool. And it's a 2-night event.
Yes. I've been there.
They announced it was gonna
WrestleMania that 1 year.
side-by-side action with teammates. Brandon Moore, Nathan Lyon, having that long strategy that we talked about, different strategies afoot. And that was JT getting his lat back from these two teammates as well. So different strategies all over, and that might actually I don't know how beneficial.
I don't think it's going to work out for them. If it's bad, God bless them. But staying out, you know well, and I know, staying out this late is going to hurt. Unless you're really going to push the car. I think they're trying to bake on a terrible towel, but I don't know if they're going to get it.
Right now, there's just under a 3-second gap to Jason Taylor from Shelly Kitzman, are 2 cars that would be the leaders once this green flag cycles through. Brandon Moore and Nathan Lyon, and now Michael Cochran, our Sinclair Dinosaur-driven machine. Those are the 3 drivers that have driven long and stayed out. Gone the longest here, and banking, hoping for a caution, but even then, like I said earlier, I just don't see us getting another caution. I really don't. I would have saw maybe a caution breeding caution at that point, but these guys, like I said earlier about these guys, they are 2 like semi amateurly professional drivers here, not too
Nathan Lyon
Sorry.
and Cochran Still staying out.
I was killing mosquito, sorry.
Just think about it. Cars are right down.
Well, Brian, you know just as well as I do, when the race lingers like this, green flag run to have 2 green flag cycled pit stops in it, they're going to get spread out. They're going to get lapped. I mean, I think whenever it cycles out, there's only going to be about maybe, 15, 14 cars on the lead lap, if that. You know, somewhere in that ballpark, I believe there's only going to be that many cars left on the lead lap when it cycles out. So just got to wait and see. We know Nathan Line cannot go, 130 or, the rest of the way home. He's going to have to pit. So.
Yeah. See that Cochrane's now in the pits. And that's what I mean. Staying out this late is going to hurt. Absolutely is.
Yes, because the people that had pitted with the fresh tires, they've come back out, they've unlapped themselves, they've ran that much more distance back down upon you. So, therefore, whenever you come out of the pit, you're going to be that much further behind.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless they get that caution. I don't know. But then yet... Oh, there you go. Brandon's back on the lead lap.
So that gap now from Kitzman to Taylor is now under 2 seconds. And it's a 2 3/4. Zach Deutscher still in 3rd position, but Jonathan Mazzella charging back to a podium finish, it looks like.
There's 30 laps to go here.
Yes, 30 laps to go. Brian, let's take another 5 lap, crank it up. And with 25 laps to go here in the AMS Cup Series, things are starting to spice up, Brian, ever so slightly. The battle for the podium spots are spicing up. That's the word of the night, apparently. Spicing up. So, as you see, the battle for third and fourth has changed hands. Deutscher has
Thanks
gotten
for the
passed by
follow there, Thunderwall. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you.
Deutscher has gotten passed up by Mazzala. Mazzala now setting his sights, maybe trying to charge down the two leaders. Kitzman is having some issues with traffic and different people on different strategies, as Kevin Trzynski is on a different strategy than Kitzman, therefore having fresher tires, being a Ryan Newman-like struggle to get around. Or, maybe being like you, Brian, to get around, because you at times can be a struggle to... I'm just saying. Anyway, so... That battle for third place has not died down. Even throughout the field, we still have battles. Look at Miller, Bonini, Stang. There's a battle back there. Furtek, from Furtek on down, there's a battle. You have... Let me look here. Greg Elliott seems to be kind of in a battle with Cochran. Then you have Avery is in a battle with Nathan Lyon with Daryl Johnson. So there's battles all over the place, but JT just can't quite seem to run down Kitzman, Brian, in the closing stages here, even with a little bit of help from traffic. But Taylor was having to deal with the same traffic that Kitzman just had to deal with, Brian.
Yep, and that dirty air will does not, do not like the dirty air. They struggle, they get tight, they start pushing, and it makes you use up a little bit more tire wear than what you want. 3 wide for third place.
That is a battle for third place, as you talk about. That is 3 wide. That is Deutscher, Mazzella, and Roberts. Is that really Will?
No. Will's,
no, it's not.
Will's
My apologies. Who is that?
That's a lapper.
Oh, okay, my apologies. You got me all... So they're dealing with the same traffic that Kitzman was dealing with a while ago. My apologies. I was throwing myself up there, and I have 5th place wrapped up. It's in the bag for me. I'm bringing home 5th today. We are smiling. We are... Hey, man, I set myself up with goals, and I'm pretty sure the same... I bet you every Will Roberts is going to say what I'm about to say. Hey, man, I set myself up with goals. 25 people was going to start this race. I'm happy to get a top 5. That's my goal. I'm going to walk out here with a top 5. That was my set goal. To leave here, I know I'm a top 5 driver. I bet you anything. I am me and this Will Roberts and the other Will. All 3 of us, I bet you, drive just the same. I bet you not.
Anyway, closing in on that.
I know, right? What a ramp.
Laps to go. No, you're good.
I've never not found someone...
that has my name, so... Okay.
Right. I have never, until iRacing, because Facebook, no one has my name on Facebook, but apparently iRacing, everybody's got my name on iRacing. I never would have
found a couple of doppelgangers, huh?
Right? And they basically act just like me. Oh no. I had a bunch of twin brothers and never even knew it.
Right. So, are you the first, second, or third?
I don't know. I think me and this Will are the same age. I don't know about Will Roberts that races it. I don't know about the Roberts that races in BNR and SRU. But I'm pretty sure this Will and me are the same age. But I don't know about I don't know about Ernie's Will. That sounds so weird saying it like that. That was weird. Ernie, if you're listening, make me your Will. Ha ha ha. Oh, that sounds weirder. See what I do? I just dig holes for myself to make everybody question things. Anyway, JT is running back down Kitzman again. Everybody turn your attention to that. Not what I've been saying the past 90 seconds. Anyway, laying around the rosy. Deutscher trying to drive away from Mazzella. He's like, get away from me, orange expletive. He is trying to put 2 tenths at least. That's at least a car length or so on. Can we get? Can we show the front of the field? I know we don't like doing that sometimes, but can we do that? I would like to see what I'm talking about. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's that battle for third place. You know, that orange guy. There we go. Yeah. Basically the same almost color I would be racing if I could make my own car. I would get a Sammy Archibald to make my WBLR Foundation paint scheme, and I'd be like basically this color, Archie, but like a little bit more sunburst or like neon. Just, you know, give me sunburst orange and neon, and I'll be satisfied. Almost like the General Lee color, but not quite. Like I'm a very picky orange person. I'm good battle though. It's been afoot ever since before the first green flag. No, excuse me. This past green flag pit stop. Because if we remember right, Mazzella had driven all the way up into second, but this battle with Deutscher is hindering that response now. Brandon Moore has moved up to 5th position, jumped ahead of Roberts. So no longer am I in 5th. I said I had it all wrapped up, and all of a sudden here came David Pearson. I always thought I was David. Nope, I was not. Apparently I was Goliath. See what I did there, Brian?
I sure did.
10 laps remaining. Coming to 9 to go at this stripe. Can Kitzman keep going at this pace, or Ken Taylor? That was a bad choice of words, you know, because my English teacher somewhere rolling their eyes at me if they can hear me speak now. Anyway, Can Taylor run down Kitzman? He's now under a second. This is the best deficit anyone has had at Kitzman all green flag long. As you can see, the top 4 all within the same frame of camera shot at times. As Brian alluded to, the dirty air can really change temperature of your tires. Running in that dirty air makes it hotter with the car behind. So therefore, you are traveling at X amount of rate of speed, so that dirty air is going, you know, say for instance, your brakes is hot, your engine's hot, the car is going to give off a certain temperature. Therefore, that certain temperature is going to be a hot temperature. You're in that wake, that yoke, that flow of that hot temperature. It's just, like they always say, being behind a tractor trailer. Well, yeah, it's going to emit some air if you stick your hand out the car window going 55 to 70 miles per hour. It's going to force you back, you know, but it's also going to be a mixture of hot air, that exhaust, brakes and everything else. So that's what your car is having to deal with, that hot air. That's why if you were ever a racing fan back during the COT days and the tandeming days at the super speedways, where you would see the cars work together, but NASCAR kept implementing rules to the cooling ducts and the cooling systems, radiators, etc., to where you could only have so much cooling, so much water, airflow, etc., going to it to cool the engine at a time. So you could only push for so long, and then the car would overheat. So that's why all this different cooling and airflow systems is in place to like it is now, because they don't really want you to do all sorts of different things that, anywho, long story short, because I can really ramble, as we already know. Anyway, 5 laps to go, 4 now. So it has been one heck of a race. This battle for third has not ceased. Roberts down to 7th. Cochran has gotten by. Furtek up into the top 10 in 8th position. Nathan Lyon in 9th. And teammate Chris staying in 10th position. That rounds out the top 10. Greg Elliott just got by for 12th position. That was by Avery. No, it wasn't. That was Antonio. Him and Antonio are having a battle. Nathan Lyon gets by Furtek for 8th.
Two laps to go here. Kitzman, Taylor, Boisher, Tim Mazzella, get by Zach.
Well, let's find Kitzman. In that number 4 Busch car. He's got flames on it too. Getting the white flag. Jason Taylor going to, looks like, have to settle for second here as he ran down under a second but just couldn't do anything, as it's been utter domination by Kitzman, as he's going to take the checkered flag here coming off of turn number 4. And Jason Taylor will bring it home in 2nd position, and that battle for 3rd will go to Zach Deutscher in that 12 machine. Jonathan Mazzella going to have to settle for a top 5 in 4th position. Brandon Moore comes home with a stand-up top 5 finish. Michael Cochran, 6th position. Will Roberts, 7th. Nathan Lyon, 8th. Dwayne Furtek, 9th position. Chris Stang, 10th. Keenan Miller, 11th. Greg Elliott, 12th. Antonio Bonini, 13th. Avery McDonald, 14th. Daryl Johnson, 15th. Adam Botten, our full sitter, 16th position. James Hudson, 17th. Kevin Trzynski, 18th. Aaron Spear, 19th. Chris Ostrander, 20th. Michael Crowder, 21st. Chris Spear, 22nd. And Brian Beach, 23rd. We will get our podium finishers down here and talk to them in just a moment. Congratulations to our podium finishers, and thanks to all the drivers coming out and being a part.
Pumper, Taylor, Zach, and this one. Let's see. Guess we'll bring Zach up first. Whenever you're ready, boss man.
Yeah, on your go, Brian. And Zach Deutscher bringing you home piece 3. Just how'd you do it, Zach? We saw you wheeling and dealing, and also like JT trying to chase down Kitzman, but he was just in another zip code. But tell us how you did it, Zach.
I don't even know. We started 12th. I didn't think we had much. Car just, I don't know. I didn't like any practice and qualifying, but I don't know if we're going to chase that, but I knew we won a race, so I got to try my hardest here. But I honestly don't know. The car got better the longer the runs went. Just trying to keep track position and not go on the top any more than you have to, because that's where your tires were. But I can't give you an answer how I got up here, but the car was really good those last 2 stints.
Yeah, we saw you and Mazzella having a great battle there to close out this race. Tell us about trying to fend off that 41.
Yeah, he was fast, but I know I needed third, so it was good racing. I hope we ain't too mad about that. That was very clean, but that was some very intense racing. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I had to keep him behind me for points, so it was all or nothing with him. That was a lot of fun though.
Talladega's next week, Zach. What's the fear, the preparation, the mindset, the strategy going into Dega?
The fear is of not dying and finishing the race. I feel is the biggest thing around those tracks. Oh no, big thing next week if I make it is be qualifying. I want to kind of be in the front as much as possible because I feel that behind, in the middle or back, you can get caught up in things way too fast. But next week's all about survival and just being there at the end like this week.
Yes, sir. And congratulations once again on the podium. Final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Fucking love watching you guys while racing. Shout out to STR, me and Phillips' new team here. We got a third tonight, so it was pretty good. And I think he got a 9th at his race, so top 10 all night tonight. Winner, Shelly, man, what a win. You dominated. 41, fun racing with you. Penske Motorsports, Worth, all the friends, you, Will, family. Just on to next week.
All right, 10-4, Zach. Thanks for talking to us, chatting with us. We'll catch you in a bit, maybe next week as well.
I'm hoping so. See you. Have a good night, guys.
Good night. And P2 finisher, runner up, and I thought he might have had it in the bag. I thought JT, man, JT, I thought you had it tonight. I picked you to win. You let me down, but I'm just kidding. JT, how'd you come home P2?
Still don't hear you, Will. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
hello. Hi.
There he is.
Yes.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
So,
I was muted.
well, I think Brian accidentally moved me or something happened. Anyway, so I don't know what you heard, if anything. I didn't. Did I speak or any? I spoke.
no, I got you. I got you. How I got to second?
Oh, okay. You heard me.
Yeah. Just being the tire saver that I am, I just knew where I could go and save the tires, staying in lanes that people weren't occupying to save as much to just be as efficient as possible with my right front. This is going to be super important. And I probably could have got to Shelley, but it would have ended up costing me 3 and 4. Probably would have fell back to 4th place if I actually got to him.
So, yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Like me and Brian, we did our picks at the beginning of the race. We don't normally do it, but it's a thing we sometimes seldom do, right? And he picked Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore had his own struggles, and then I picked you, and you were really putting them up, putting them down, and then you got to the point where you just kind of couldn't charge anymore, like you talked about, and it kind of worked its way out. You think maybe if you could have had a caution, kind of maybe got a reset button, perhaps, and got kind of even Stevens with him, and maybe you think you could have had him then?
If we probably would have got a caution with about 30, I probably would have got him. I don't know. I don't know base out the gate fresh tire speed. I'm not. That's not my game.
Right.
So
Right.
if we get time to put some rubber on the track and get lanes heated up and stuff, I'm really good at managing that. So I'm not sure. 10-lap shootout probably still gets me. I maybe finish 4th or so, maybe worse. If we're on a 10-lap shootout. So I was kind of hoping we get a green flag from the go, but we had a little something scuffed happened on the backstretch, and
Yeah.
I almost turned Keenan all the way around, but kind of collected him and kept ourselves together. And unfortunately, he spun, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but there's like a big check in front of us, and I touched him, and I was trying to not. Like, I was just trying to go to the back to run my strategy.
Yeah,
And
we got a glimpse of it.
And it was a really scuffed situation. Nothing good happened, and then, well, unfortunately, a caution did come out eventually, but that kind of saved the race right there for me. So coming from the back to the front, I'm kind of making that a habit this year.
You are. That's kind of why I picked you. Anyway, so Talladega.
Good Lord, if I stop on the front row, good Lord.
Right? Good Lord. Because whenever you start on the front row, it's like, hey, JT, you got caught up in a wreck. But anyway, at least that's what it felt like, right? Because that happened. Where'd that happen? You qualified on the pole, but then you got caught up in something, right? I
think it was Pocono, and then
yeah, I think it was Pocono.
Yeah, right off of 3. I pushed Zach off the grip, and
let's not
went in
bring
door
it.
to door, right? But
Yeah. Let's. I wasn't trying to bring it up, but you brought anyway.
It is
so.
what it is. There's about 3 or 4 races that I feel got robbed from me this year.
Yeah, I mean,
It's tough. It was I'm salty. That's why I'm in the Morton Salt Ford Mustang.
right? That looks like everything else imaginable, but I thought it was a Michigan Wolverine car. I thought it was like a Joey Logano like DEI thing. Like if you get a real fast glimpse at it, like you don't know what it is. But
I'm a big fan of the Penske stripes. I really like
I do say they were really cool with every car at one point. Like had them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm a big Penske fan. I may not like all of his drivers, but I at heart I'm a Penske guy. I may not like to say that out loud, like I'm a Cowboys fan too. Anyway, JT. Yeah. See. Anyway, so Talladega. What's the thought mindset going into Talladega?
Hope I get some teammates, and me and Sean know how to control a super speedway.
Yeah, grab Sean by the neck and say, "Hey, buddy, come on."
Yeah, he's just had to work a whole lot here recently.
Oh well, yeah, that's understandable.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, just need some teammates, and I think if we can control the front, we'll have a good shot at it. I would always love to win, but I just want the team to win first and foremost.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the team, but mainly you too. Yeah.
I am the team.
Yeah, right. Like that's what you want to feel like. Yes, expect. Yeah.
But yeah, just get a couple teammates, couple good pushers, and hopefully we get a nice boring race for you guys in the booth, but it's intense in the driver's seat, I guarantee you.
Right, kind of like it was Daytona at the beginning of the year. Anyway, final thoughts, shout-outs. We got to let you go eventually. You can't talk all night. It's unfortunate.
Shout out to my boys at the Black Flag Motor Sports Shop. You guys for doing this every week. I know it's it's work sometimes, you know. And then
Yeah, sometimes.
to the admins, Avery and all them, they put it on, and Greg, and kind of got beef with them because nobody wants to pick me for a champion. All right, I'll be an underdog. It's fine. I'm sharing the points lead with John right now.
Yeah, good points. Yeah, all about a good points finish, good points day, and maybe a good points day next week at Talladega. Congratulations. Good talking to you, Jason. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate you.
You too, bud. Jason Taylor, everybody, finishing P2. And forward on to our race winner, Shelly Kitzman, in that number 4, dominating, tearing it up as if he was in the cornfields of Iowa, but it's Kansas. So, Shelly, how'd you do it? How'd you just dominate this evening? You were the fastest guy in practice. You didn't quite get the pole, but it's not all about that single lap fastest speed, right? It's about that consistency, putting it down over a period of time. How'd you do it, Shelly?
Yeah, I think I led 130 some laps there, so pretty much all of them. Just basically won the whole race on that first stint there. When we got going green, we got about 35 laps in. After that caution, I was able to get out to like a 4-second lead, and then from there on, basically just somewhat pushing, somewhat saving fuel the rest of the race, knowing that if we go green, I'd be able to make it to the end.
Yes, sir. At one point, it was looking like maybe Mazzella or JT might be able to run you down, but you would extend it back again where you just kind of maybe not really pushing it as hard as you could have, or what was the story there?
Yeah, 100%. I think that first run I really pushed it hard, and you saw got out to a 4-second gap, and then from there I just kind of took it easy. Could have easily pulled away in that second and third stint, but just saving fuel, saving tires, there's no need to.
Exactly. Talladega next week. What's the mindset process going for you next week for Talladega? You know, knowing that it's kind of you don't necessarily get to make your own type of luck there. You know, you could get caught up in anything, or it's going to be another one of those long race type of deals where almost like each and every race, right? You just got to have the patience mindset right around, but it's going to be pack racing normally, right? So.
Yeah, I'm yet to learn how to qualify on super speedways, so I guarantee I'll be starting 25th to 30th, somewhere in there. So gonna start off saving fuel, try to give myself the advantage that way, pit with a big enough group where I can gain track position that way, and then go from there.
The trick to that, I'm gonna tell you, your warm-up lap and your first lap outside, your final lap, ride the bottom. All the way around. So you're pretty much get up to speed in your first lap outside lane. Once you get ready to come to the start finish, shoot down the bottom and stay on the bottom of that line.
I try. I've watched videos on YouTube about it and everything. I just cannot figure it out for some reason.
Sometimes maybe opinion adjustment too as well. It's really comfortability of the car when you do. So whenever I practice, I do mock runs, mock qualies. Find what adjustments work for quali, and I stick with that, and then go to back to what I feel comfortable with in a race set, kind of.
Yeah, it's a good idea to just try everything out in practice qualifying runs, and I've never really tried that.
That's the way to do it. Just so you know how comfortable you'll be and know what to use for your qualifying, and then go back to your race set. But Talladega is a crapshoot and a half. You're expecting the unexpected, you might as well say. Myself and Will can tell you that. Talladega, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. One of those type of deals. It's just survival to the end, pretty much. Sorry, Will, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Anyway, yes, qualifying can be a doozy at super speedways. I just always never. I mainly had to do it in group qualifying. I barely ever had to do single car qualifying. And single car qualifying, I kind of did what Brian talked about, like warming up on the top lane and then swooping on the bottom. So I always did that. Even then, it's like, single car lap speed. It's going to be a doozy. Yeah, this race, long green flag action, like we've talked about before, it could be that way. Were you surprised that there wasn't more terrible towels than what there was, Shelley?
Surprised for sure. I think, definitely my strength in this group is definitely tire saving. So the fact that we run, I want to say it's 75% fuel, definitely hurts me. But I think, the fact that we were able to do it speaks loads about this group of people.
Oh, exactly. Speaks, volumes, exactly like you talked about. So, congratulations again in that Busch Beer number 4 car. Dominant performance, like we already talked about. Congratulations. Final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
Yeah, just shout out everybody who puts this league on and you guys for broadcasting. Obviously, it's not easy for Avery and those guys some weeks, and then there's other weeks like this where it all pays off, and then prayers to everybody who got affected by the hurricane.
Yes, sir, indeed. Well, awesome job on the win here tonight. Hopefully, get it done again next week. Talladega's rough on all edges. You have to really mind your P's and Q's and get comfortable being pushed and who you want to work with, who can hold the straighter lines, and just scout the field. That's all I can say. Is just scout. Ride around for the first handful of laps to get your comfortability with drivers who can hold a smoother line, and then you know who can't. Because then at the end, that's where it's really going to matter. So always keep that in mind too. That's how I go into Talladega. 9 times out of 10, all the races, I hang back and scout the field to see who can hold a smoother line and who can handle pushes, who can't, who's a better pusher if you're out in the front. So it's those type of deals. So best of luck to you headed in Talladega, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Me too, buddy. Anyway, well, what a great race here tonight from the AMS group. They did a hell of a job, as we expect every week from these guys. Great group of guys. Nothing to never be let down for. Hard battles all the way to drop the green flag to the checker flag. Next week, these drivers head to Talladega. Tomorrow night we'll be live again, as myself and will be broadcasting the B&R Truck Series from Sonoma. And then don't know about Wednesday yet. Sunday you catch Will again with Mayo for the B&R Cup Series as we head to Talladega. So that's for the open setup cup side that we have there. And Will again, doubleheader, maybe, with Medlock. Great guy. Go over there, check them out. 2 great commentators there, Will and Josh. So for myself and Will, we'd like to thank you guys all coming out here tonight, tuning into the broadcast, cheering on your favorite drivers, and talking with us when you guys can. I know it's affected by the hurricane. Stay safe. Try to stay warm. I know it's rough through these hard times, and the world today is crazy, but make sure you love your loved ones close. And for myself and Will, we want to thank you and have a wonderful and safe good night.